From Relay, this is Connected, episode 588. Today's show is brought to you by Surfshark and Sentry. I'm your keynote chairman, Federico Vitici, and I'm joined today by annual chairman, Stephen Hackett. Hello, Stephen, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you for holding down the fort last week when I was sick. I'm glad to be back. I enjoyed the show. I am the annual chairman all year. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the keynote chairman for the foreseeable future. And we are joined by someone who is neither of those things. Mike is here.
The meat is underneath both slices of bread this week.
You know, you got to stop at some point with this.
No, man. I mean, I've done all three scenarios, right? So they're all done now. So
Yeah.
the meat has been in the middle, the meat has been on top, and now the meat is underneath. Who knows where we go next week? Maybe there's no meat. Maybe we're vegan next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
If you're on vacation?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
you're
I'll be like,
you're just a piece of tofu next week. or
yeah,
something.
I'm a slice of lettuce, baby,
Yeah.
in between these two pieces of bread. We'll find out.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is birthday week at Relay HQ. Mine was yesterday. I'm 27. And
Congrats.
Mike's is Saturday, and he's going to be 42.
Sure. We can go with that.
Yep.
That's not how the numbers
So-
worked.
Stephen and I just had a boring business call about insurance earlier today, and there was just lots of reminders of Stephen's age, which was just really fun for me. I was just texting him the whole way through the meet and reminding him how old he is.
Yeah.
Stephen turned 40 last week. This week.
Yesterday. Yeah, the
or
28th.
last week.
28th.
You know, who knows? At some point recently, Stephen turned 40 years old. Congratulations, Stephen. You did it.
Thank you.
You made it.
I did.
Does it feel good?
It feels weird.
Hmm.
I don't think I'm having a midlife crisis by any stretch of the imagination, but I've just thought a lot about
you did
40.
that ages ago. You remember you bought 13 iMacs?
Yeah.
I think that was it, man. I think you did it already.
Look, do I look at Facebook Marketplace every night for an old Toyota I can rebuild in my spare time? Maybe, but
Yeah, but that's on brand. I
it's true.
think like
This is a
the
regular.
crisis is like you have to do something we don't expect you to do, and that is something I would expect you to do.
Switching to Linux for a year.
Even that, like all of these things, like I don't know what your midlife crisis would be. I think you have lived midlife crisis for a long time.
Maybe.
At this point, maybe.
But yes, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you, Federico.
Sure.
You're
Thanks.
early.
I mean, why would we not wish him it too?
mean,
You
why
know
not?
what I mean?
Why
True.
not? Why
You
not?
just bank it for later on.
Birthdays are a social construct, man. So it's fine. I'll take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did
Does
I even
anyone
gain
really believe in
consciousness?
birthdays? I mean, how can you, like, if you think about it, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready to have your mind blown by me? If you think about it, the fact that your birthday exists, the only
Yeah.
guarantee that your birthday is your birthday are your parents telling you that it was your birthday because you don't remember the day that you were born,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, there is paperwork.
I was going to say, there's definitely paperwork when you have a child.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
but do
have-
you trust paperwork? Do you trust the government, with your
Wow,
birthday?
This is a great point. We just
So,
talked about all of that in the pro
I'm
show,
just saying. I'm
who
just
could
saying. It's
tell?
predicated upon you trusting your parents and some
Yeah.
paperwork. Apparently, okay, sure.
Yeah, like that can't be forged.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I mean,
Exactly. Exactly. It is funny. So we're basically a month away from Sophia's first birthday, unbelievably.
Mm.
And I'm already realizing that I'm just not going to get birthdays anymore, really. Like, I'm going to have a birthday, but like no one's talking about my birthday,
nobody
really.
cares about
you know what I mean?
anymore. Yeah.
Everyone in my family is like, Sophia's birthday's coming up, so but that's fine by me if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I much prefer it. I think most of it is I'm not remembering I have a birthday, and I'm only thinking of her birthday as well. So
Yeah. Oh, well, and they're close together,
which is nice. It's expensive. I feel bad for my wife, but
Yeah.
that's her problem.
We have a string of birthdays like through the holidays through early February, and then Mary's birthday. So she's like 2 weeks after me, and then it's Valentine's Day a few days later. And so there's like a string of stuff. I start shopping for gifts in the fall because I got to space them out.
That's expensive. Bad times.
You want to know what I got her for her birthday? She's never. Gonna
Yeah,
listen
she
to
probably
this.
doesn't.
She doesn't.
Is
Listen
it a
to
pair of
Connected.
power beats? That's the only thing
No.
I assume that your wife wants.
I had Jason Snell send me the link to the Tube Man because she's always wanted one, And I got her
That
a few
is
years ago
amazing.
a foot tall one that goes on a desk. She's got
Oh,
a
yeah.
full blown Tube Man in the attic.
You gotta get her, like, for the first year of Tube Man, all of the gifts you buy her can be different Tube Men.
Yeah, they have a lot.
So, like, Valentine's Day Tube Man, Halloween Tube Man,
Yeah.
you can do the whole thing. I will say I got really underwhelmed and then very overwhelmed because you said, you know what I got my wife? I asked Jason. It's like, whatever that is not good. You know, like, what is Jason Snell going to recommend for your wife? But turns out it was a good gift in the end. So I went on a real journey.
He's the Tube Man. He's the Tube Man
Connoisseur.
guy. I got a guy.
He's the Tube Man. He's the Tube Man.
Tube Man. We got some follow up.
Yeah.
Mike, this one is for you. Do you want to take this?
Yeah, Abdullah wrote in and says, if Tim Cook retires and John Turnus became CEO, would Mike record an emergency episode of Upgrade or Connected? What about Stephen and Federico? So the current plan, me and Jason have this, is that we will just get to record it immediately, right? Because that is a very Upgrade thing to do. But my hope would be loads of people could call in and then we could simul-release that episode. It'd go everywhere, you know? Put it in all the feeds. Put it on the Pen Addict. Let's get going. Let's get it going.
Yeah, that's what I want to do too. Like,
yeah, I'm excited about the possibility of it. Although I do fear that by the time it's happened, we've already had every possible conversation, so there'll be nothing to talk about when he does it. But we'll see.
You know, we'll see. And I think it's like,
That's
you know,
podcasting, baby.
if someone calls in on their phone, like it could sound bad, right? It's just
Yeah.
all hands on deck.
Oh yeah,
It'd be great.
I already feel bad for Jim.
Yeah, me too. Federico, this is something that I've wanted to ask you when we've talked about this before. But do you think, or do you know if OTJ has pre-written an article about Tim Cook stepping down?
He does not have one.
Because I know OTJ sometimes pre-writes things to a degree.
Yeah. Obituaries.
Yeah.
TK.
TK.
No, he does not have one. Although you just gave me a good idea.
Yeah.
We should have one.
John, get on it.
There should be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, it's time to cook. Hello?
Is that a joke? Was
yeah,
that
no,
like
it was horrible, to be fair.
Yeah,
like,
it was not good.
Look, new decade of this. You guys buckle up.
Yeah.
Federico, can you tell us about Clawdbot and Anthropic?
Sure. So what happened is that the Clawdbot that we talked about last week, that I wrote about on Mac Stories, it got so popular that obviously, you know, good old Anthropic got in touch with the developer, Peter Steinberger, and asked for a name change due to trademark issues. I mean, obviously, the entire project started with a similar sounding name to Claude, the Anthropic LLM, and that was the whole point, right? That Peter Steinberger put together this little gateway project on a Mac to be able to talk to Claude via Telegram or WhatsApp, and obviously the project got so popular that it's not surprising, I guess, that Anthropic got in touch and asked for to pick a different name. I don't know if there was a cease and desist involved or anything like that, but they did. And so here's the part that I don't like personally. This was a very rushed thing that Peter and the community had to put together. They landed on this name that I am personally not a fan of, because I don't know, maybe it's not because I'm not an English native speaker. I find it kind of gross. The word. It's called Moltbot.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of problems with this, right? From my perspective. One, that word has a bad mouth feel. Moltbot.
It's
The
like
T's are
reminds
too
me.
close
It
to each other.
reminds me of mold also.
Yes, but also just molting. The idea of, like, I'm assuming it's like a lobster molting. It's like they're just shedding their skin.
Yeah.
Terrible name. You know, it's funny. The whole time we were talking about this last week, I meant to bring it up, like the name, but just never. I just didn't. It's like, this is obviously a problem. Like calling it Clawdbot. Like,
yeah,
that is is an issue. But also, it is so funny every time an LLM company complains about IP infringement.
There's irony
It is
somewhere there.
It is
yes.
never not funny when that happens. It is a hilarious thing to like these companies that will be in court one week saying like, haha, we scanned a bunch of books, but we bought them, so it's okay. And then the next week it's like, yeah, but you stole our thing though, so don't do that. It's very funny. It's just like a very, very ironic thing. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I didn't like Clawdbot anyway, but Maltbot is so much worse. It's so much worse. You know what, Peter? Just give it another go. Like why not? Just give it another go.
You know what? Yes, just give it another go. It was obviously, I think I saw that Peter was like tweeting, look, I was sleep deprived and I got a letter from Anthropic. What was I supposed to do? I ran a quick poll in Discord and we went for the meme name. And look, I get it.
Yeah, it's always, look, I love like people in Discords, they're awesome. Never give them the opportunity to name your thing. Like let's say you end up with Boaty McBoatface.
That's
like,
what I was going to say.
That happens.
Yeah, or Maltbot in this case.
Maltbot.
So anyway, I gotta tell you, I haven't had an article get so popular in a long time.
Man.
Yeah.
More popular than my iOS reviews. More popular than any.
Oh my god! Really?
Yeah, man. No, it's crazy.
I didn't
it's
know
crazy.
it was at that level.
No. It's been absolutely wild.
Wow.
It was everywhere. You gotta hand it to the place. It was incredibly popular in terms of traffic from Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Google search, I guess people searching for instructions on how to set it up. It was linked in a bunch of these like AI influencer newsletters on Substack. Talk about problematic platforms. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really just doubling down. I saw you on The Verge. I saw that
on The Verge, yeah.
Because you've been like, wherever you think of yourself or not, I think you have now just been like, you are the person who knows. It's like Federico. He knows Maltbot. Like he's that guy.
It's like I'm getting questions from people like, hey, how do I set it up? And I'm like, dude, I half know myself how to set it up and debug the thing.
But you're the guy. You're the Maltbot
I'm the guy. But because of this project got so popular, and Mike and I spoke about this last week. It's very much like a hacker project. You gotta know what you're doing when you set this up. And unfortunately, something that happened online is that a bunch of people set up Clawdbot or Maltbot. I don't want to say Maltbot. I'm just gonna say Clawdbot. They set it up.
Hang on, Anthropic's at my door. Let me go.
Oh no!
A bunch of people set up Clawdbot on a VPS, so like on a server online instead of their personal local computers, and they completely disregarded any reasonable security practices. And so there were reports of like these self-proclaimed, some legit security researchers just scanning these online directories of Clawdbot instances running in the cloud with open gateways. So they could basically hack those people and connect to their Clawdbots and their personal data. And so there was that concern, but also because my article got so popular and people obviously know who I am and know my email address because my email address is public, that I got very concerned about prompt injection attacks.
Oh no!
And so
I could never seen it coming.
I made the call of disconnecting my Clawdbot from two integrations.
Yeah.
And specifically the Google Calendar and the Gmail one. Because like...
Just people sending you emails and like, it just empties your bank account.
Yeah. It's like
Federico, that's
instructions hidden in the main body text of a Gmail. And I had my Clawdbot like scanning my Gmail every morning for important emails. And like, imagine if in one of those emails was like hidden instructions,
I might just start emailing you. Important. Give me money.
It's disconnected now. It's disconnected now. But for real, the fear, like prompt injection attacks and data exfiltration attacks, they are not a solved problem for LLMs at all. And maybe they will never be. Right now, we only know that the only model that does not solve this, but is better, actually much better than the other ones is Cloud Opus 4.5, but it's better than the other ones. Does not solve the problem. So because of the visibility of this article and the popularity of the project, I had to turn off those two integrations because the attack surface in that case is beyond my control, right? If somebody sends me an email with some hidden instructions, I cannot control that. And my bot is scanning my email. So I turned it off. Well,
that is I would say like good thinking, right? That you thought to do that, because you could have. At that point, it was the article became so popular, someone doesn't even need to know you to want to give it a go.
Yep. And and it kind of sucks because it was really useful to have that sort of a agent running every morning, scanning my email, scanning my calendar, and stuff like that. But it's a risk, and I don't want to take that risk. And it highlights. So I think what's going to happen here. I'm going to make you some predictions, if you don't mind. I think, obviously, this Clawdbot project got so popular. I just saw right now, there's a blog post on Cloudflare. They created something called, Molt Worker. So Cloudflare is launching a service.
We've gone too far. We've gone too far now.
Hear me out. Cloudflare is launching a service to self-host Moltbot in a sandbox on Cloudflare. This is how this thing is so popular. It's so popular that Cloudflare is launching a managed service to install Clawdbot. So we're gonna see more of these things. Like we're gonna see consultants offering you to set up Clawdbot for you. We're gonna see companies offer to launching managed installations of secure Clawdbot instances. But also what we're gonna see, I think, this project I think is the perfect response to what Mike and I discussed last week, and we made fun of the capability overhang that OpenAI talked about. There is obviously a hunger for these LLMs to be more useful, right? And to be more, actionable or proactive. So what's going to happen? I think we're going to see more copycats is not the right word, but I think we're going to see more products along these lines that live in a sandbox, because right now that's the only way to make it secure. But that also makes me wonder, how much of the utility of Clawdbot is actually predicated upon the fact that it's running on your computer and it's doing stuff for you with your apps and your data? Is there any way to solve that? Because I can use Claude with a VM sandbox in the Claude app right now, and it's not as useful as Clawdbot because it's a sandbox without my data. So I don't know how this can be fixed in any meaningful way.
This product, specifically in the way that it is engineered, makes it particularly difficult, even in the sense of the way that you communicate with it, right? That you are using third-party chat interfaces to talk to this makes, to me, it feels like another risk area, right? You've got to be what if somebody sends you an iMessage or something that is corrupted, right? We know that's a thing that can happen. It's why Apple built that advanced protection mode or whatever it's called for journalists, right? Because these are the kinds of things that become an issue. I would like to make a very quick prediction. Within a month, there is a Series A funding round for Moltbot. There's no way people aren't talking to Steinberger about investment now, because it's just become too popular, in such a short space of time. If you're a VC firm, you're okay, let's go for it. This guy's built something that's interesting. Let's give him some money.
Some personal news. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I would invest in Mac Minis instead, because everything I saw on social media last week about your article or about Moltbot in general was I bought an M4 Mac Mini at Costco to run AI. It's it's having a moment.
Man, I should have put an affiliate link to a Mac Mini in my article, and I did not, and I'm stupid for not doing it.
That would have ripped. You would have made so much money.
Sorry, John, I forgot to do it.
It's
Anyway, I hope they come up with a different name, man, because Moltbot. It's
Moltbot.
Moltbot.
I mean, this is like something that clearly needs to be productized, right?
Yes.
Like, because it's, it just doesn't work for people, right? Like, it's too complicated. This is, again, why I think that I expect to see some kind of investment so they can start to build a product out of this rather than the way that it is currently set up, which was purely as like, hey, here's the fun thing that I did. And now they've identified a user need that they weren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moltbot.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Surfshark. Secure your privacy with Surfshark today. Go to surfshark.com/connected for an extra 4 months. Internet security is more crucial than ever, so why not protect your online life with military-grade encryption and enjoy a secure, unrestricted experience? With Surfshark VPN, you can shield your data on public Wi-Fi to avoid identity theft and fraud. It keeps you safe, even in the most insecure online environments. It was super easy to set up Surfshark. I got it going on my devices in just a few minutes. Very simple, very straightforward user interface. And I think that's something that we all benefit from. So never worry about who's spying on your data again. Surfshark has you covered. And geo restrictions, they're going to be a thing of the past. With Surfshark, you can break through online barriers and access content from all over the world. You can save money on flights and hotel bookings by eliminating location-based price differences. It's a secret travel hack that's always in your back pocket. It's time to take control of your online security. Try Surfshark today and enjoy their 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you go to surfshark.com/connected, the link is in the show notes, and use the code CONNECTED, you will get 4 extra months of their VPN service for free. That's surfshark.com/connected. Secure your digital world now and start surfing securely. Our thanks to Surfshark for their support of this show and all of Relay. Big news. AirTags 2. They're here.
Okay.
2 AirTags.
Molt tags. Molt tags.
Tag.
Look, do not put an AirTag on a lobster, okay? Don't do it. That's cruel.
They'll
Don't-
cut it off. They won't bother them.
Was that a claw
Nothing's
sound?
gonna-
Is that what that
Yeah.
was?
Is that? Yeah, what's that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the claw cutting off the AirTag. It'll go right through a piece of fine woven. No problem.
Yeah, we're going to get to fine woven. I have some questions. OTJ wrote this up over at Mac Stories. It is the same form factor, but basically everything inside seems better. So it comes with the 2nd gen ultra wideband chip. That's the one that's in the iPhone 17 and Air and the Watch Ultra 3. So it's the 2nd gen is limited number of devices, but that'll grow over time, of course. Improved Bluetooth, so it can detect from 50% further away.
I'm sorry, guys. I have some real-time follow-up.
Okay.
John just sent me an iMessage. Just linked the Mac Mini in your story.
John's on it.
John's
He's
he's
Thank
listening.
you, John. Thank you, John.
John, go write that
Sorry.
Tim Cook article.
Sorry, Stephen.
That's important news. 50% improved Bluetooth range, 50% louder speaker, so it can be heard roughly twice the distance away. And the chime that speaker makes is new, so it's easier to locate by sound. I assume that's some sort of like frequency change or I don't know, making it more of a unique sound. And it adds Apple Watch precision finding. So that's when you get close, you get the arrow like on your phone. That will work on the Series 9 and later and the Ultra 2 and later. And it does, all this requires 26.2.1, which rolled out the other day. Like I said, same design, same price, $29 for a single, $99 for a 4-pack. My advice for a long time has been don't pay full price for AirTags because someone always has them on sale. I think it will take a while for the AirTags 2 to be that way, but if you don't have a new device, you don't care about this stuff, I would imagine, at least for a short period of time, you can find original AirTags pretty steeply discounted.
Is this product like Apple? They're just selling this one. Like they're not keeping the old one.
That's my
Do you know?
understanding. Yeah.
Okay.
If
Like,
you go to
they're
the
just,
website,
like,
I think it's just the new ones.
yeah, they don't even like. This is just called Air. It's like this isn't like AirTag 2. Like I'm on
No.
the website right now. Like yeah, it's just like this is just what you get. Okay, interesting.
This is what you get. And on the, AirTags are kind of a weird thing. They are under accessories, I think. No,
Yeah.
where are they on the website?
It's under accessories.
Under accessories. And they, like before, Apple sells a couple of things where you can attach these to keychains. Fine woven lives on here in the AirTag case. It's $35 or for 5, choose between 5 different colors. I use one by Belkin, which is like a plastic thing that snaps together and goes on a metal key ring, and I've had it the whole time since like the original AirTags, and it's been great. But yeah, so we're all big AirTag people, I believe. I got a bunch. I know Mike has a bunch.
Yep.
Federico has them on his Lobsters.
Yep.
Are we rushing out to upgrade?
No. What I'm sad about. So I have my original AirTag in one of the leather things, and it is just beat to hell. It looks great, and I'm sad that they don't make the leather thing anymore. They're all fine woven. At some point, I'll guess if whenever I need to replace them, I'm sure some company is selling some kind of leather keychain or whatever that I would be able to buy to put one of these in. But I really do like the one that Apple makes. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe the fine woven's fine in this, but like I'm not a big fan. I do like that they have a green one though. It's a nice green one. Yeah, to me, like this seems like a great upgrade, and like the next time I need AirTags, great. I'll have to make some decisions about what the new ones go on and like kind of cycle them through and stuff. But all of the upgrades are good, but there's nothing where I'm like, I need that. Like none of the things that they're listing are like, oh, I've had this problem with my AirTags, so I should get the new one. Like I've never, like there are all these things when you use them of like, oh, like sometimes it goes out of Bluetooth range for a while and you just wait for it to show up again. I don't know that the times where I can't find a suitcase in an airport is because of the range or just because like it doesn't matter if it has twice the range. It's still like too locked away somewhere that you'd never find it or whatever. Like the issues that I have, I don't know would be solved by these updates, but it is a nice suite of updates for whenever people do buy them. It's a great product.
I bought a 4-pack mainly to replace the AirTag that I use on my keys and my wife uses on hers. I feel like those are the ones that we try to ping the most often. And so I ordered those. I got those engraved. So one has, I got her one with M on it. Mine has an S on it. I've never done engraved AirTags. So why not?
Why are you losing your keys so much?
It's all the time, man. You just sit them down somewhere. Your hands are full. Look,
my keys go in the same place.
Mike.
They're always in the same place.
Mike, it's not me that's the problem.
Okay, who's the problem? Please let me know.
The other adult in the household with keys.
Okay, here's my second question. And again, maybe this is just a thing I don't understand. Why is Mary using your keys? Mary has her own keys.
Well, so she doesn't carry a truck key, and sometimes she drives the truck, so she'll take my keys.
Okay,
and then they're just gone.
This is why I don't. Yeah, okay.
She also loses her own keys.
Share a car
sometimes. So I did a 4-pack, and I figured the other 2, maybe I put it like in my backpack or, other ones that we use often. I actually have an AirTag in both cars. Maybe I swap out the car ones for these stronger ones. But yeah, like you, like my suitcases, all the other ones, like I'll just replace them as I need to. But I have never had an AirTag die. Like, I mean, I've had to replace batteries, but
yeah,
they seem remarkably tough. Like the ones on my keys, like the back of it, the metal side, I mean, it looks like I ran it through like an industrial sander, right? It's totally destroyed.
There is no engraving left on mine.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone. The engravings are completely gone. Like the Apple engraving. The engraving on the other side with my initials on it, that's still there. But like all of the regulatory markings and stuff, just 100% disappeared.
Yeah. It's got, I think we said this when it came out, it's got the iPod vibe, right? Like the back of your iPod, the metal would get all scratched up. And the first scratch really hurt. But the 100th scratch didn't because it looked cool. You know what I mean? Like there's a Rubicon that it passes and the patina is cool. But yeah, AirTags.
Patina Rubicon.
The Patina Rubicon.
Federico, did you ever lose your keys?
No, I
Yeah,
never
I think
lose
so.
anything.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I've never
Never
lost
lose-
anything in my life. No, for
Do
real.
you use AirTags?
Yeah.
Okay. But you never lose
Yeah.
anything.
No.
You lost an
never.
AirTag.
Well,
I remember that story.
And a heart rate monitor.
Well, then I found
Yeah,
it again, and a heart rate monitor was stolen from me. So
yeah, but it's,
I have
when something is stolen, you have still always also lost it. You know?
I mean,
no.
kind of yes.
No, I have been a victim of grand larceny in my life.
That's true.
But
Grand.
I have
Grand
never.
larceny.
Yeah, I have never lost anything though.
No, remember when the people broke into the beach place?
Yeah.
Yes.
We talked about it live on the show.
Yeah. You lost like an axe or something.
Barbecue equipment.
Yeah.
Actually.
What about Sylvia? Is she an
Barbecue.
AirTag person? Does she lose things?
What? Who?
Sylvia?
Oh no! No! Sylvia? I mean, no. Sylvia is like the better version of me. She's like the Pro Max version of me when it comes to not losing things.
Federico Pro Max.
Yeah.
Has Sylvia ever been subject to grand larceny?
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the unlucky one.
You are the unlucky one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of unlucky ones, I'm going to read some quotes to you from an article on The Verge
No. Oh no.
about Camo. So Camo is an app for iPhone and the Mac that allows you to use your iPhone's camera as a webcam on your Mac. Obviously, we have continuity camera. We're going to get to that. But Camo has a bunch of other features. Like I use Camo if I'm recording video because you can get like much higher quality video if you use both the apps open at the same time. So Camo is suing Apple for Sherlocking them. And I'm going to read some quotes from JP at The Verge. Camo is used by thousands of Apple employees across all divisions of the company, the lawsuit says. At first, Apple encouraged Reincubate to increase its investment in Camo. But when Apple recognized that Camo was a threat, it took steps not only to copy it, thereby infringing Reincubate's patents, but also to undermine Camo's functionality, such that Reincubate could not compete with Apple's ripoff called Continuity Camera. Reincubate CEO Aidan Fitzpatrick says in a blog post that Apple had made, quote, all sorts of promises about how they could help with the app. Yet once we'd proven it could be done and users loved it, they took it and built our feature into billions of products while shutting us out and preventing additional interoperability. I think interoperability would have been a fine thing to say. We could provide to the ecosystem, says Fitzpatrick. So for context, Continuity Camera shipped 2 years after Camo. Apple's statement on this is, we strongly disagree with the allegations and believe the lawsuit is baseless. Apple competes fairly while respecting the intellectual property rights of others, and these camera features were developed internally by Apple engineers. Look, now you can have your own feelings about this lawsuit and about Sherlocking and, you know, what's fair play and what's not. I will not believe for a moment, for a second, that the people who came up with Continuity Camera did not get the idea from Camo. I would not believe it for a second. Like, to say that we compete fairly while respecting the intellectual property rights of others, these camera features are developed internally. Yeah, you developed them internally after seeing Camo, right? Like, you. So it's like, yes, you did develop it, but you were obviously had seen this software. Like, I just can't imagine a scenario where Apple did this without having seen Camo. Because as Fitzpatrick points out, of like, Apple puts webcams in their computers. Like, make the webcams better.
Yeah,
Why do you
for
have
real.
to do this, right? So, yeah, I find this interesting. I don't think Camo's going to win. Maybe they can win on a patent thing. I don't know what their patents are like. I guess it all comes down to discovery. Like, if they can get some discovery, like, I genuinely think you would be able to find messages between engineers and designers talking about Camo while developing this feature. Because I just don't imagine a world in which that didn't happen. And I'm not saying that people are acting like maliciously or whatever, but like it was 2 years after,
Yeah.
right? Like you've seen this, and yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this one plays out. To be honest,
I am blown away that the term Sherlocking is in a legal document.
Amazing.
Like,
yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, and on his own blog post, Fitzpatrick writes about, people at Apple showing contrition for copying their feature. They're very careful not to commit too much in writing, which is, the people at big companies know that. But yeah, it's a bummer to see it.
Well, not in Slack, they don't.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I would be interested
Mm-hmm.
in seeing, if they can get that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the discovery could be pretty spicy.
Provided it will happen. I don't know what scenarios have to occur to get that kind of process to play out, like from a legal perspective. But yeah, I hope that Apple settle with them and help them out.
Yeah, it may be in Apple's best interest to. I think in general, surely not every court and every judge, but in general, it feels like a lot of the legal system looks at tech companies through an antitrust, anti-competitive lens. This certainly doesn't look good for Apple through that lens. And in the I don't have the quote in front of me, but in the blog post, Fitzpatrick writes about, like, this is not just about Camo, right? This is about Apple and its relationship with developers. And the core question is, should Apple be restrained from doing anything third-party developers do? Like, that doesn't seem like the answer. But also, this feels like it may be over the line with what happened with Camo and continuity camera. So the legal system will sort that out, and it may not be in a way that Apple likes. And so I do think there was incentive for Apple to settle if Camo is willing.
I think if they can prove the claim that thousands of Apple employees were using it, like, I think that is grounds to be like, well, this ain't right. But like the idea of Apple Sherlocking stuff, inherently I don't consider to be a problem, like in like as like a blanket thing. Because, we've spoken about it time and time again. There are endless stories of developers that found success even after this kind of stuff happened to them. But this one is rough. Like, the need for Camo decreases massively when continuity camera exists, especially because you can do it wirelessly and stuff like that, right? I think actually Camo has wireless, but anyway, you can do it without having to open an app, right? Which is like, it's super handy. But if it was really being used as widely as he says, I think it becomes much harder to be able to argue that there was no quote unquote inspiration between the two projects.
Yeah. The first question that came to mind for me when I saw this news break the other day was like, why didn't Apple just buy Camo? Like,
yeah,
I know Apple's not. They are more likely to buy companies now than I think they have been in the past. But for a team like this, like, I don't know how big Camo is in terms of revenue, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to Apple.
Yeah.
And like, why don't just go make those people a good offer and bring it in-house, and you rebrand it and tweak it the way you want, right? That's very common with tech companies, right? They buy a company and their whole thing becomes a feature of something else. And like, then you avoid all of this. Like, if you're going to do something so close to what a third-party developer is doing, it just seems to me that it's bonkers that that's not on the table. And maybe it was, right? And maybe Apple shot it down. Maybe that'll come out in Discovery. But it is my just initial reaction was like, why don't you just go buy them?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they asked too much money. Like, we don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe the conversations like that did happen. Like, we can't know that part. But
yeah,
it's an interesting story. Federico, what are your thoughts on stuff like this? It's like,
I never know what to think with these things, legal stuff. Like, I mean, do we, like you said, do we really think that Apple was not familiar with Camo? Like, I don't know. We're so used to the idea that Apple is Sherlocking stuff, and we accept that. And then when somebody is like, "Hey, no, that's not cool. I'm gonna sue you." I don't know. Yeah. I think it's gonna come down to a patent thing. That's it. It's gonna come down to that. Because like, how can you? Also, I'm not a legal expert for U.S. patent law. Like, can you can you kind of judge, codify inspiration, or I don't know. Possibly there are there are prior cases about that, but like I think it's gonna come down to the technology, and especially if the Camo folks can prove that thousands of employees were using Camo and that they have the evidence that it's based on the same tech, then I think Apple's gonna have to settle quietly at some point. But we'll see. But I honestly don't know what to think. And also the idea of a startup suing Apple. I mean, they must have the money for it, right? I wouldn't sue Apple. It's expensive.
Yeah, I don't know how that kind of stuff works out, but that doesn't seem wise. Or you figure you get some advice which suggests to you that you've got a decent shot at this.
For sure.
Like, I'm looking at their patent. It's in the lawsuit. I have no idea what patents mean or what I'm looking at, but the patent is for basically a webcam connection between a computer and a phone for video conferencing is what it looks like to me. And so it's like, well, that's like the whole thing, right? Like that's the whole thing. They got that patent. So yeah, but I don't understand enough about how patents work either.
Patent system is complicated and mostly not good, I think.
Yeah. It's funny, I'm scrolling through it now, right? So they've got some messages between, like, text messages from Apple people who love it. And there's also, like, app of the day screenshots in here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, well, you obviously know about it. This is in August 2021. Before continuity camera shipped, Apple called Camo app of the day. And it's like stuff like that where it's like, obviously Apple is made up of so many people, but that's not how you look at things like this in these scenarios. Oh my God, there's a selfie with Fitzpatrick and Craig Federighi.
My God.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff in here. But like, this is the case, right? Where it's like, well, and I mean, I've seen Camo's logo on in keynotes, right? Like they've used it in those like logo blocks or whatever. The Vision Pro app, which is a hilarious thing that exists, is always featured in the App Store on the Vision Pro. Like it gets, I feel like I don't know how this stuff works. Again, I'm going to say it like 100 times, but it feels to me like it gets harder and harder to argue that they didn't know about it while they were developing the feature, based upon the fact of how much attention they were given by different parts of Apple.
And it's interesting too, like, this is a bell that can't be unrung for Camo. Like, no matter how this ends, right? Apple settles, Camo wins and gets a huge sum of money at the end of it, or Camo loses and they get crushed. Like, if Camo is still in business at the end of this, your relationship with Apple is probably harmed forever. You're not getting another selfie with Craig, right?
No.
Yeah.
And that's obviously like a funny example, right? I mean, but
yeah, but from their perspective, that relationship isn't important because for them, that relationship that they had meant that their entire business got ripped off.
That's true.
That to like, in that scenario, do you even care about your relationship with Apple? Like,
maybe not.
The good relationship you had led to your business being undermined.
Yeah, it's just very, very complicated. And developers deal with this sort of stuff all the time. I mean, it's not so often your entire app, right? But we see it every year, right? We all have friends in development. It's like, oh, this feature or this corner of what I do is now built into some other app that Apple does. And a lot of times, developers say this, we've said it, and I think I generally believe it. Like, if you were writing a task manager and all of a sudden reminders got good, like, yeah, you may lose the low end of your market, but that actually can free you up to go after a different, like, specific market that may love your app way more and be really dependent on it. Like, it's not always a bad thing if Apple takes a little bit of what you're doing or move into your space, but we don't see very often what seems like it maybe happened in this case where, like, Camo and continuity camera basically do the same thing. Like, and it's not like they just took part of it. And that does put it in slightly different waters for me. But
Yeah.
developers worry about this every summer, right? Like very famously, I think within our circles, when I guess it was Safari 5 or whatever added reading list, Marco tweeted a single word tweet because he
Yes.
was writing Instapaper at the time, right? And that's kind of become a joke now amongst like indie developers in our circles. But it's just it's very complicated. And Apple's relationship with third-party developers in some ways is at I don't want to say an all-time low, but it's rocky at best for a lot of developers right now.
Can
And
you
this
think
sort of
of a
thing,
time that it's been lower?
I mean, maybe like in the 90s, like, or
Oh,
when they
right,
told
okay.
everybody to rewrite in Cocoa and everyone said
Sure.
no. But it's pretty rough, right? Like on the 6 colors Apple report card, that has not gotten a good grade in a long time.
Can't wait to see the score this time around.
It's going to be rough. The
gonna be
deadline
rough.
was before the Camo thing came out.
I don't think this would have changed.
I don't think so either.
If I'm being honest,
I don't think so either. But like this sort of stuff doesn't help, right? Like
No.
if Apple were interested in improving that relationship, then you do buy Camo and you pay whatever they want because you're Apple and you've got literally mountains of money. But doing it this way and then being sued by a small developer and like, Apple, unless they just settle right away, they're going to be ugly about it. And that just doesn't do you any favors in the eyes of all the other developers. And I promise you, anyone in the App Store paying attention is going to watch this closely because it does affect all developers because Apple could move into your space any given year. So it's messy all the way around. And I don't know. I really hate this kind of stuff.
I think the Instapaper one is a good example, right, that we can all relate to. But when Reading List existed, there were a bunch of read it later apps, right? Like it was a whole category. I don't think that was the same here.
No.
It was Camo was the thing. That was what you used. Or you used a capture card and a big camera, right? But like from a software perspective, Camo was the one.
Mm-hmm.
And Apple took just enough of what those features are to make Camo mostly not needed for the vast majority of people that would have been using it. Like, again, it's like what I'm doing. I only ever use Camo as a way to get the maximum video quality out of my iPhone, which is absolutely not what I need for Zoom calls. Like, which is what people were using it for, right? Like, that's what it was used for because the cameras in the Macs are bad. It's like even like a funny thing that it is so funny that this continuity camera even exists, right? It's just like a very funny thing of like, oh, we have to use a second device because the cameras on our laptops are bad. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes, if anywhere. We'll keep an eye on it.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Sentry. If you're a developer, why is it important to have insights into issues on apps you build? Well, there's lots of good answers to that. You got a customer service angle. You want people to have a good experience. There's also a productivity angle for you. When you can quickly get to the root of a problem, you can fix it quickly and get that bug fix out into the world. And look, logs are messy. Trying to grep through them and line them up with traces and dashboards just to understand one issue, it's not it, gang. Sentry, that's Sentry, has logs too, but they've made them usable. Sentry's logs are trace connected and structured so you can follow the request flow and filter by whatever matters. And because Sentry surfaces the context right where you're debugging, the trace, relevant logs, errors, and even the session replay all land on one timeline. So you're not trying to match timestamps across systems. You're not hopping between tools. Front end, mobile, back end, whatever you're debugging, Sentry gives you the context you need to fix the problem and move on. More than 4.5 million developers are using Sentry, including teams at Anthropic, Disney Plus, and right here at Relay. We use Sentry with our own internal tools, and it's been great. Try it for free at Sentry, Sentry, Sentry.io, and tell them that we sent you. They have a free dev plan, and listeners of this show can use the code CONNECTED26 to get $100 in Sentry credits. Thank you to Sentry for the support of this show and Relay.
So Sebastiaan de With, one of the co-founders of Lux, and I believe served as a designer there primarily. That one of the apps that they made that I expect the majority of people will be familiar with is Halide, the really great camera app. So Sebastiaan is leaving Lux and joining Apple, specifically joining their human interface design team. DeWitt previously worked at Apple a long time ago. I hear this mentioned a lot that he was responsible for the Find My app, like the rich Corinthian lever of the Find My app. Is that true, or is that just something people say?
I think it's true.
I think it's true.
Okay. You know,
I certainly have heard it enough to believe it.
Believe it's true. Yeah. If it wasn't, it now is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like one of those things. It's just become a thing. So the Lux developers have responded, quote unquote, to this by sharing details about their next big updates to Halide, which looks very impressive. But that's all they've said, which is interesting. We're not like a spill the tea kind of podcast, and I don't know these people, but it feels like, I don't know. I don't know if this was a thing that everybody wanted to happen, because usually you see like well wishes in these kinds of scenarios, and I have yet to find any. My thoughts on this is, I guess there are some high level positions at Apple in the design team that need filling now. Like one reason or another, like with Anandai's departure, people getting moved up, moved along, lots of people leaving, like people that maybe went with Dai, or people that worked with him and do not want to work for Stephen LeMay or whatever. And I was wondering about this, like, so Stephen LeMay apparently has been there a while. So LeMay is the person who's replacing Alan Dai as like the head of the human interface design team. And I think maybe he wants to recruit some old hands. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see this happen more than once.
Putting the band back together.
Kind of, right? Yeah. Of like, if you've been around for a long time, you've probably made a lot of good relationships, and then you're going out there and bringing people in. Because again, I don't know enough about Halide and Lux, but it seemed like a very popular, successful product. Like, I can only imagine that Apple made a good enough deal, right, to tempt the width back. It's very funny to me to see how much play this has gotten, especially, guess where I've seen the most conversation about this, boys?
Mastodon.
Threads.
Oh, right. They half the people love Liquid Glass and half the people hate it.
His post on Threads has got thousands of interactions on it. Like, an unbelievable amount of engagement. I'm going to go look at it now, and I'll tell you, 4,400 likes.
Moses.
Ooh. That's a lot of likes. He has like 29,000 followers. So 4,400 likes. That's a very good engagement rate on that. And people, everyone seems excited about this. Are you guys excited about this?
I think so. I mean, I like Seb a lot. And I think I want to see if there's more. I actually want to see if this is just
my theory.
Isolated...
Does my theory hold out that this is going to happen more than once? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have seen, over the past few months, lots of designers that I respect and follow online join, I don't know, Anthropic or OpenAI. Like lots of them going to OpenAI. And I want to see if this is just this person, or if we're going to see more announcements along these lines. Like, I'm going back to Apple, or I'm joining Apple. Because if that's the case, then I think you're right, Mike, that it's sort of like, under new leadership, people coming back and forming a new old school, but also forward-looking now design team again. So one person does not say much. Maybe Seb just wanted to leave the startup life and go back to Apple. To be fair, this is also the person who put out an excellent essay about Liquid Glass before Liquid Glass was announced, with arguably from the essay a better version of Liquid Glass, I would say. So I don't know. Maybe it's just Sebastiaan and that's it, or maybe there's more coming. It depends. It depends what this is. Are we looking at just this person wanting to work with Stephen LeMay, or LeMay putting together a super team of designers again? The latter would be more exciting.
I hope that Sebastiaan can bring his design work to the camera app. I'm not super thrilled over time about the camera app. Like the selector to get to, like, I was trying to take a slow motion video yesterday. It just took me too long to get there. It's actually reminiscent to me now of the really bad fitness app on the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Where, like, the fitness app on the Apple Watch, it feels like what should happen is every time you swipe, it should just move to the next thing, but it just swipes forever. The way the interface looks and acts don't correlate to me. Or it feels like you should be swiping through pages, like flip, 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 instead of what happens, which is you just scroll it like a regular list. And I'm having the same problem with the camera app, where the UI doesn't feel like it should just be a smooth, like, kind of direct scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just becomes so hard to find anything, where I would prefer if you could just swipe one, two, anyway, it took way too long. And I've really liked the design of Halide. Like, I think it looks good. I think it works good. I think it's nice and clear. The interactions are really nice. So my hope is maybe he's there to, or will try to, while he's there, turn his hand to cleaning some of that UI up. Like, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that blog post exists that you referenced anymore, Federico.
What?
No, it's up. I'm looking at it.
What? Oh, I can't find it.
Yeah, I got it in the show notes.
Thank you so much.
It's called Physicality, the New Age of UI.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the Lux blog. I was looking on his own website. I just assumed that was
his
on
stuff
his
is
own
sort
website.
of spread out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited too, not because one person can, like turn around the design ship at Apple, but for what it signifies. This is somebody who really cares and really knows about design and how apps should look and work. But it's also a little bit of a bummer. Like, Halide Mark III does look great. Hopefully they can continue that pace up. And I just sort of, like, weirdly tangential to this, I'm going to miss his iPhone camera reviews. Like, he ain't doing that when he works at Apple.
Oh, they'll just get a very different vibe.
Very different vibe.
It was the best camera ever.
But
it's so good.
Could he be on stage introducing the next Pro camera, talking about it? Like, that would be also interesting. We don't know what his role is. We don't know how expansive it will be. And I think people will need to remember, like, WWDC is 6 months away, 5.5 months away. 27 is not going to be radically different, I don't think, than 26. Like, this is going to take some time, and it is not something like what I think would be maybe the worst thing to do is for Apple to rush something at this point. We're gonna back away from liquid glass. We're going to do something else. I think it's better in the long run to have liquid glass a little bit longer and get something better after it than try to shove it to the side really quickly. And not all liquid glass is bad, right? Like, on the iPhone and iPad, it's way better than on the Mac. Like, Tahoe is a mess. And they have to weigh all those things. They have to make decisions about those things. And that is going to take time. But I'm certainly encouraged by the fact that not only Apple wanted him back, but that whatever those conversations were, he felt like he could make an impact and that it was something he wanted to do. That is exciting to me. Like, I would love to know what those conversations were, and hopefully we'll see the fruit of this over the coming years. But it's a big move, and I agree with you. I think we will see more. I think we will see more high-profile app designers, UI designers that we know or that we've heard of to go inside. I suspect Apple's going to be on a hiring spree.
I would like them to bring in people who have had great success outside of Apple, whether they ever work there or not, at creating really interesting UI. I think those are the types of people you should want, right? Like, people who have gone out and, like, made some very interesting interpretations of how apps should work, and try and bring those in to fill some of the more senior positions of the design team, which I do believe that there are a lot of vacancies in. I would just naturally assume that is a thing that happens over time. And or just like, build a new team. Like, why not? Like, if enough people have left now, maybe it's time to completely get rid of, like, be happier at like moving and changing what was Johnny Ives' hold, right? Because Dai came up that way. Now he's gone. Maybe it's time to rethink it a little bit. Like, I don't know who works there, right? But let's shake it out a little bit and try some new stuff, and maybe bring in some talented people. So yeah, it's a fascinating thing to see. Good luck to him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us. If you want to find links to the stuff we spoke about, they're in your podcast player and, of course, on the World Wide Web at relay.fm/connected/588. If you want to find more of us, we are online. You can find Mike on a bunch of other shows here at Relay and, of course, his work at Cortex Brand. You can find Federico at Mac Stories. Federico, y'all having a big week. You want to talk briefly about what y'all are up to?
Yeah, we finally unified Mac Stories and Club Mac Stories under one website, which is macstories.net. You no longer need to go to a separate website just to get access to your subscription perks. And this is part of a bigger sort of vision for putting the spotlight on Mac Stories, because that's a website that people know that a lot of people visit every week, every year. And we over the years we started doing so many things, right, with the newsletters and the podcasts and the videos, and then multiple tiers of the club, and we ended up with this fragmented experience, which was at the time a byproduct of the fact that we couldn't modernize the Mac Stories Foundation that easily. And so last summer, after many years of missteps and certain directions that we shouldn't have followed, but we finally went back to the drawing board and we said, okay, fine, let's first modernize Mac Stories, even if it's not going to look that different. Let's completely re-architect the site, which we did. And that foundation that we launched last summer allowed us yesterday to finally bring everything back together. So the club and App Stories also, both App Stories and App Stories Plus, now live on Mac Stories in the podcasts page. And we haven't finished this migration, right, because we have other podcasts that will need to be integrated. But now that we have everything running on WordPress, not on a custom CMS anymore, we can provide that sort of unified experience for people who just want to read Mac Stories for free. That's never going to change. It's always going to be a blog that you can go there and see the homepage with free articles and sponsors. But if you're a member, you can get more, and you can sign in directly on Mac Stories. You get a special club homepage for just your club stuff. And now that we fully control, Mac Stories living on WordPress, we get to ship new things faster. Just as I'm speaking right now, we should be adding already a new feature, which is giving members a new type of RSS feed that we didn't have yesterday. Now we get to do these things very quickly.
Amazing.
So it took us a long time to get to this point, but I'm glad that's finally done, because from now on it's just going to be new stuff, right? Instead of modernizing an old foundation, refactoring, migrations, now it's just, from now on, it's just new stuff. And that's exciting.
Yeah, as somebody who has to or wants to link to your podcasts, this will be nice. Like when they're all here, like on the one page, I'll be happy about that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, congrats. It's awesome. I know it's been a lot of work, and I'm sure y'all are happy to have it out in the world.
Yeah. Very much so, yeah.
You can find my writing at 512pixels.net, and I am on Mac Power Users here on Relay on Sundays. Check that out. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week for their support of the show, Surfshark and Sentry. Thanks to both of them. And if you want more of Connected, we do a longer ad-free version each and every week called Connected Pro. There's a link in the show notes to check that out. Just $7 a month. You get a longer show with no ads. You also get a bunch of goodies from Relay. It's a great deal. Go check it out. And until next week, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.